A massive international peace agreement sits in the dark. The reason for the secrecy comes down to a strange logistical anomaly. The country brokering the negotiations suppresses its own media. The primary stakeholders are the United States and Iran. According to U.S. Vice President JD Vance, the lack of press freedom in Pakistan directly contributed to the delay. Without a free media to question the government, there was no domestic pressure to disclose the talks, which kept the details hidden from public view for much longer than expected. The assets on the table are staggering. The agreement outlines a $300 billion reconstruction fund designed to rebuild Iran, fueled entirely by unfreezing billions of dollars in blocked foreign assets. Because Pakistan's media faces no pressure to report these developments, the $300 billion proposal moved forward in a vacuum. This internal silence allowed the diplomatic process to stall even as geopolitical pressures in the region began to mount. While those negotiations stalled in the shadows, the reality on the ground deteriorated. The Middle East rapidly descended into active, widespread conflict. Israel launched an intense bombing campaign into Lebanon. Local government officials report that these strikes have resulted in over 4,000 civilian casualties since March. In retaliation, Iran moved to shut down the Strait of Hormuz, instantly pushing the U.S. military into a full-on alert status to secure the global shipping lanes. Facing a collapsing region, Pakistan is making a final play. They are deploying their prime minister and army chief to Switzerland, hoping to salvage the failing negotiations before a broader war erupts. The primary motivation for this trip is financial survival. Pakistan's leadership is betting that if they successfully play the geopolitical savior, the United States will reward them with massive, economy-rescuing foreign investments. Let's step back from the diplomatic drama. Does the modern global economy actually reward political favors with foreign direct investment? Capital ignores backroom handshakes. In the framework of supply chain economics, corporate investment follows established physical trade infrastructure. Looking at official U.S. data for 2024, the total volume of trade between the United States and Pakistan is a mere $10 billion. Breaking that down, U.S. exports to Pakistan make up only $3.3 billion of that total. Those numbers define the limits of Pakistan's strategy. Regardless of their role in Switzerland, the economy lacks the baseline commercial volume to attract the massive investments their leaders expect. To understand the true scale of Pakistan's economic disconnect, we have to compare their footprint to their immediate neighbor. This new chart shows the trade volume for India. The U.S.-India commercial relationship currently stands at a staggering $200 billion. That calculation means India's trade relationship with the United States is roughly 15 to 20 times larger than Pakistan's. A $200 billion relationship represents deep, entrenched supply chains, massive physical ports, and commercial infrastructure that naturally attracts new capital. Global capital behaves exactly like gravity. Money is inextricably pulled toward massive, established commercial hubs, completely bypassing bankrupt nations offering temporary political favors. We are now facing the ticking clock of the present day. Donald Trump has placed a strict 60-day deadline to resolve the U.S.-Iran negotiations. If that clock expires without a signed deal, Trump has threatened to implement aggressive new U.S. tolls directly on the Strait of Hormuz. The geopolitical odds point to failure. With ongoing regional bombings and the collapse of previous talks held directly in Islamabad, the upcoming Switzerland summit is highly unlikely to produce a lasting agreement. But let's entertain the ultimate hypothetical. What happens if Pakistan actually pulls it off and successfully brokers the impossible peace deal? The reward will be entirely rhetorical. The U.S. government will offer verbal praise and grant friendly titles to Pakistan's leaders on camera, but the billions of dollars in promised foreign investment will not follow. Geopolitical mediation offers a temporary illusion of power. In the modern global economy, lasting relevance is not won by carrying secret messages between adversaries. It is won by building undeniable weight on the balance sheets of global trade.